Hey everybody, welcome back to Football Talk with Vinny. In today's video, we're going to be going over the Buffalo Bills. So with the Buffalo Bills, they obviously had a very good season with 13 wins. They got the number 2 seed, and obviously if they did not change the playoff format, they would have had a bye week. But, regardless, they had to play in that first round, but they did win their first 2 playoff games, and they got all the way to the AFC Championship game. So I think if you're a Bills fan, it's obviously a very successful season. Obviously a little bummed that you lost in the AFC Championship game, but definitely hopeful for the future years that you are going to have a Super Bowl caliber roster for years to come. So let me get into it first with free agents that they lost. They didn't really lose too many key contributors. They lost guys like Josh Norman, Brian Winters, and John Brown. These are guys that played roughly 40 or 50% of the snaps last year. John Brown was a third-string wide receiver. He did play big when he was out there, but again, he wasn't out there all that often, about 41% of the snaps. And then in Brian Winters, he played 51% of the snaps. And Josh Norman obviously didn't start for the first couple weeks and got a couple of starts towards the later part of the season. In terms of guys that they re-signed the center, Mitchell Morris. They also were able to get Mario Addison to re-sign. They gave a contract extension to Micah Hyde, which I think is very big. He's one of the most underrated safeties. Obviously, I think it's because he plays in Buffalo, but with them making the playoffs last year and being a Super Bowl contender favorite for this year, I think a lot of the players on the Bills roster will probably get more notoriety this coming season. Last 2 ones, they re-signed Darrell Williams. He played 96% of the snaps at right tackle for them. And obviously the big one was Matt Milano, getting him to re-sign to an extension. He's one of the better young linebackers in the game. In terms of free agents that they added, they obviously replaced John Brown with Emmanuel Sanders, so I kind of like that move. You got Bobby Hart, a right tackle, really obviously just to play maybe when there's an injury, kind of like as a backup rotational guy. And you did sign Forrest Lamp, a left guard who played 100% actually of the snaps for the Los Angeles Chargers last year, so he might actually start at guard for the Bills. Quickly, when we look at the money, they actually have $10 million to spend, but next year they're going to have 0.785, so they are right at the line. Obviously, that's not really a great place to be if you have yet to pay your superstar quarterback. Next year, he's going to be on the 5th-year option, but after that, he's going to be making probably close to $45 million, right? Because Dak Prescott just signed a deal this offseason at $40 million. And objectively, even as a Cowboys fan, Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, right? Or at least from the year he's had and the talent he has, he's probably a better quarterback, so at that point, he's probably worth more money. And also, if I'm Josh Allen, I'm probably just going to wait and hope that Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield get their deals done first. Because if I'm Josh Allen, after those quarterbacks get their deals done, I just say, okay, well, I want more than them as well. So at that point, I think he's going to be real close to $45-ish million by the time he actually signs a deal. It doesn't look like he's going to sign one before the season starts. They might just wait for the year to play out and then sign him. But again, like I was saying, it's not great because if you're already at the cap, at least for next year, when you sign a guy who's only going to be making, I think in the 5th-year option, I want to say it's like 17-ish million dollars, and he's going to be making 45, 41, 42, somewhere around there. That's a significant jump from just one player. That's a significant percentage of the cap as well. So that's such a huge increase. I think it's going to make it tougher to build around Josh Allen because you are going to have to let some guys go when you give him his money. That just means that this year is the best shot I think Buffalo has to win a championship, really, because before you start to lose some of those guys, they're all still signed and you still have them all. So this is probably one of their best years to win. So let me get into the draft. So at pick 30, they took the pass rusher, Gregory Rousseau. He was projected to be much higher. Obviously, he slipped a little bit, so I think that's just a steal for the Buffalo Bills. And getting a pass rusher, I think, is fantastic. You need to be able to get after Patrick Mahomes. I think we saw in the AFC Championship game, they were not able to, and when they did, he was able to escape and make some throws on the run. And again, that's just Patrick Mahomes. He's just that special. But if you're going to try to win the Super Bowl, you have to go through Kansas City, so I think getting another pass rusher is a must. And then with the 2nd-round pick at pick 61, they took another defensive end in Carlos Basham. So again, I really like doubling down on the fact that you need to get after Patrick Mahomes if you want to get to the Super Bowl and win it. Because again, even if you get past Kansas City, more than likely in the Super Bowl, you're going to be facing Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, right, or Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott. You're going to be facing a very good quarterback. Then at pick 93, they took an offensive tackle in Spencer Brown, so I like that pick as well. Very quickly, let me go over the rest of the 100. Like I said, they're outside the top 100. At pick 161, you took another tackle in Tommy Doyle. Pick 203, you took a wide receiver in Marquez Stevenson. Pick 212, you took a safety in DeMar Hamlin. At pick 213, you took a cornerback in Richard Wildgoose. At pick 236, you took an offensive lineman at Jack Anderson. So again, if you just focus on those top 100 picks, it was 3 picks. And I really like it. You're obviously focusing on the trenches specifically, right? 2 on the defensive end, 1 on the offensive side. So again, I really like that. You want to be able to protect Josh Allen and open up holes for the running game, which was literally non-existent in the postseason. I think that game against the Ravens at halftime, they had 1 carry. That's Madden stuff. You don't see that in real life, right? You see that on a video game, but you don't see that ever in real life. So I really like what the Bills did this offseason. Again, there wasn't much to do. You already have a very good roster. You're kind of just running it back and trying to see if you can, make the necessary adjustments to, get over the hump this time. In terms of the season predictions, obviously they're a Super Bowl contender, right? If you were going to rank them, they're definitely in the top 3 or 4 teams in the AFC in terms of Super Bowl favorite odds. Obviously, I think every single team in their division got a lot better this offseason, but I think they're still the clear favorites. Probably have them as a projections anywhere from 10 to 12 wins. The only reason why I don't say more than 12 or 13 is I think they did win a lot of close games last year. I think their record in one-score games was very good. And I think year over year, that usually tends to even out. So I think if they're in a bunch of more close ball games, they may lose a couple more that they didn't lose last year. And all of a sudden, 1 or 2 of those extra losses gets you to, 11, 12 wins. But again, if they were to go 12-5, because again, I always forget sometimes there's another 17th game. So if they were to go 12-5, that's still a very good record. You're probably still going to win the division with 12 wins, right? You're probably going to be a 2 or 3 seed. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like it, make sure to hit the like button and also subscribe, as both of those do help the channel out a lot. And I look forward to the next video. Bye.